This hour of content on the Lou Information Station is brought to you by Grandpa Pigeons, Johnny Mac's Sporting Goods, and Becky's Carpet and Tile Superstore.
Hey, see that, kids? That's the St. Louis Arch, the gateway to the West.
The Lou Information Station, where we'll always call it Highway 40 or Highway 40 if you're a boomer.
The St. Louis expression?
Stream our content 24/7 at louinfo.com. The Lou Information Station. It's Wrestling on the Spectrum, featuring Brody the Brain Herman, powered by the law firm of Brown and Crouppen, uncovering the hidden history, pro wrestling patterns, and the stories behind the stories for unapologetic wrestling fanatics. He doesn't just watch wrestling, he decodes it. Here's Brody, Patrico, and Jeremy on the Lou Information Station.
Roman Reigns and Liv Morgan have won the Royal Rumble, and Tommaso Ciampa has won his debut match in AEW, winning the AEW TNT Championship. All of that and more today on Wrestling on the Spectrum.
Welcome, everybody, to Wrestling on the Spectrum. My name is Tony Patrico, and you spell that Patrico, baby. And welcome to another live episode of Wrestling on the Spectrum, joined in studio by Brody the Brain Herman. Brody, how are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing great. Couldn't be better.
I absolutely love the fact that we are here talking about wrestling. We are going to not only be talking about what happened this week on Raw and on SmackDown, but we're also going to be talking about the Royal Rumble that happened this past weekend at Saudi Arabia. I mean, it feels like that was months ago, doesn't it? Like, it feels like it was so long ago.
Yes, it does.
I mean, I know we were doing the live Rumble watch party, and I'm very excited to dive into that. Also joining us today, Flying Ryan Swingler. Ryan, how you doing today?
Doing good.
Man, so much to talk about when it comes to the world of professional wrestling. If you guys would like to get involved, we're live on YouTube. All you have to do is go to louinfo.com. Then you can click watch live. You can find us on the Wrestling on the Spectrum YouTube page as well. We are broadcasting live from that avenue as well. Get involved, 855-282-8255. And Brody, before we get into the ring, I want to let people know, what does the brain do outside of the ring as well? So I know you have a new show that is here on the Lou Information Station. Tell people what that is and when they can check it out.
Yeah, it is the Gateway Sports Venue High School Sports Show. That'll be every Friday at 10 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time right here on the Lou Information Station. Again, that's every Friday at 10 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time right here on the Lou Information Station. The Gateway Sports Venue High School Sports Show. Me and Gateway Sports Venue founder John Huff talk about all the high school sports that is going on around the area, and it's an absolute treat. So I'm looking forward to doing that show. I've already started with a few episodes. You can, follow the Gateway Sports Venue platform on social media, and I'm looking forward to it.
So is it you said it's all sports, it's not just, so like when the winter sports are in session, you're talking winter sports.
Yeah, we're talking winter sports.
I love it.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. And you talk about all St. Louis and other side of the river teams as well.
618 as well. Yeah,
I was gonna say, I know Ryan's gonna yell at me if you don't give East St. Louis some credit over there. He's always yelling at me because I say, I know. Ryan, I know you do a lot for the radio station as well. If people want to check out what Flying Ryan's doing throughout the Lou Information Station, where can they check you out?
Man, Flying Ryan. Man, I start off the morning shows. I do all the morning shows other than Hot Take Central. Sometimes I fill it in, but I do the morning shows from 6 to 1, and I also do the Saturday shows.
Look at this guy.
12. I then also run my own media company, media agency, I call it, Rootwork Media, where I help on-air talent and other people who have their own personal brands and social brands. I run all their stuff.
When do you sleep, man?
All that stuff.
When do you sleep?
I barely sleep, but I do get my sleep in. But I do have an editor and I have a videographer who helps on the side.
Look at this guy.
Kind of like an intern type of deal. But
between you and Brody, I think there's about 48 hours of coverage on the Lou Information Station in 24 hours alone. So, and of course, you guys can check out the sounds of STL every day here on the Lou Information Station at 5 o'clock. We talk all things St. Louis and we talk all things music as well. But guess what? Today it's Wrestling on the Spectrum and it's time to dive into the ring. Brody, before I get your overall opinion on the Royal Rumble, just kind of walk me through, do you think that, looking at the card, the payoff was there.
Yes, I think so. And shout out to Cam Jansen. He says, "What's up in the YouTube chat?" If you want to type in the YouTube chat, we'll respond. Looking forward to that. But overall, I think a lot of things were accomplished at the Royal Rumble that needed to be accomplished. And overall, I thoroughly enjoyed the Royal Rumble. Obviously, thank you to all who tuned in to the Royal Rumble watch party. We had that. It was an absolute blast.
Lots of fun.
It was lots of fun. The Wrestling on the Spectrum crew was there. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved it. And nothing better. So, and overall, everything was accomplished. A lot that happened at the Rumble. Tony, what were your overall thoughts on the Rumble?
So, again, I'm not going to sit here and say I didn't like it. Like, that is not the case. I enjoyed watching the Royal Rumble. It was a lot of fun. I think the scenario that we were in with everybody around and, you know, all of us kind of yelling at the TV, that helped out. If I was watching the Rumble at home by myself, I don't know if I would have loved it, man. I would have been okay with it, but like, okay, so let's dive into it. Okay, before I don't want to jump ahead of myself. All right, so let's talk about it. I want to start off with the women's Rumble.
Yes,
okay,
Liv Morgan won by last eliminating Tiffany Stratton. You know, figured that Liv Morgan would win this match. You know, I was unexpectedly shocked when Jordynne Grace was eliminated early on.
Way too early of an exit for Jordynne Grace.
Yes.
Way too, because guess what, guys? We saw it coming and it's happening. They're inserting her into the title picture. Why not give her the Rumble win and then have the build to Mania? Why are we wasting this right now? This could have been a Juggernaut versus Juggernaut, you know, build up to Mania between her and Jade Cargill, but we're going to spoil it at Elimination Chamber. Nobody's going to think that Jordynne Grace is going to beat Jade Cargill at Elimination Chamber if that match happens. Do you believe that that'll happen, Brody?
No, I don't.
There's no way. Ryan?
I don't agree at all either.
No, I just don't understand why we, and okay, fine. You don't want to give her the win to get the guaranteed shot at Mania. I get it. At least have her be in there longer and show off some of those things. She's the type of person that put 3 girls on her shoulders and have her eliminate all 3 at one time. Create that wow moment. We didn't get that.
Yeah.
They took her away from us way too soon.
And I feel like the women's Royal Rumble did better than the men's in like showcasing talent, but at the same time, they fell off with Jordynne Grace, even though they showcased talent with Lash Legend and what she did. And putting the Soul Ruka in the last 3.
Whoa, I was going to say.
I love seeing the 3 blondes at the end, and it was just a nice little battle of the blondes. And I was saying that on the stream. It was incredible.
Brody, Soul Ruka won a fan over, and your dad. I mean, she is incredible to watch. Like, it is. Are we seeing a lot more of, especially in the women's division, are we seeing a lot more of the gymnast stand out?
Yes, we have. The gymnasts have stood out. Obviously, Tiffany Stratton is another gymnast that has recently stood out in the division. And I don't know what Soul Ruka's ceiling is, but very impressive showing on the Rumble for her. And I'm looking forward to see what she can do, you know, in WWE as she climbs up the card here.
I definitely agree with that. So, okay. We know that Liv Morgan won. We know exactly what's going to happen with that. Well, I mean, we don't know. She kind of teased last night that maybe she's going after Jade. So, you know, that's the classic. I won the Rumble. Where am I going to go? Who am I going to go after? We're going to get that for a minute. But for me, Brody, or actually, I'm asking you this. The loser of the Women's Rumble, somebody that did not win, what superstar do you think got the most out of that Rumble?
I think Morgan did, because it's Morgan's opportunity at WrestleMania.
Okay,
Morgan got the most.
That's the winner. What about somebody that really shined and stood out in the Rumble for you that didn't necessarily, you know, get the win, but that what they did in the Rumble really stood out?
I would say Lash Legend got 5 eliminations. That was big.
That is exactly what I was hoping you would say, because Lash Legend, again, and I called this before and I'm calling it now again, I think she is the future. I mean, she is. When she's tall, she's strong, she's got the promo skills. A little work needed to be done there, but I think, you know, still new to this. I think we will see big things from Lash Legend moving forward. And I think the Rumble really helped her kind of elevate herself. And that's the opportunity you get. And we always forget that there are opportunities like that people really fumble, and it completely derails where they're headed. So it's nice to see her get that opportunity and really showcase it.
Yeah.
Moving on, I mean, you know, the Women's Rumble, not to just kind of breeze past it, but I want to talk about Drew Sammy, man. I think this match was something that everybody kind of knew what the result would be, but we wanted to see how the sandwich was made. And I think we got a great sandwich at the end, man. I think it was fantastic.
I liked it a lot. I do think Drew gave a little too much to Sammy there. And but I I really like Drew as a heel. You know, he is his facial expressions, his body language, the
So
athleticism
believable.
between these two guys
Yep.
has been excellent. Sami Zayn is the best babyface seller in WWE. You want to act like a babyface? Sami Zayn acted like a babyface in Saudi Arabia. He was over like Rover. They were behind him, even though they knew he wasn't going to win.
Yep.
They wanted to see him win deep in their hearts. They knew it wasn't going to happen, but maybe there was a little ounce of hope. Sami did a great job here, but obviously this match needed to accomplish what it accomplished, and it did that. Drew McIntyre in his first title defense, dominant, making him a dominant champion going into WrestleMania. I thought this match accomplished what it needed to accomplish.
I think it did as well. And I remember on the pre-show, before we did the live watch party, I had said, you want me to like this match? Have Drew just beat the hell out of Sami. And guess what?
That's what happened.
That's exactly what we got, because it does exactly what it needs to do, Brody, just like you said for both of these guys, because not only does it go, yep, Drew McIntyre is the top of the top heel and believable, and he will just run through people, but it also gives you that sympathy. Sami Zayn, come from behind. Will he pull it off? Sami Zayn is one of the guys where you never count him out, but you never expect him to win. And that's okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, and that's his role. My only question
Exactly. That's his role, man.
My big question to you guys is this though.
Okay.
Roman said on live that about Drew McIntyre and is he box office. Do you guys think he's a box office heel though?
Here's the answer. Yes, I do think he's a box office attraction. I thoroughly believe he is, because his promos, when he crows about somebody, he crows about big stars, it gets people's attention. His promo skills are actually excellent. He's my second favorite promo in my third favorite promo in the company behind CM Punk and Gunther, because I think Drew has this attitude, that swagger. He believes what he says.
Gunther's got to be a newer addition to your list, right? I mean, he is Gunther. He's improved.
No, I said Gunther's
vastly.
number 2. Gunther is number 2 and Punk number 1. Those are my favorite promos in the company. I thoroughly enjoy listening to Drew talk on the mic.
Me too.
He crows about stuff. He's believable when he does it and says believable things people know that are true but are afraid to say, and that's what heels do the best. And Drew does a great job of it. So I do think he's a box office attraction, and I think he's going to be one of the main events, obviously, in WrestleMania.
I agree with you there too. And the thing about Drew McIntyre is, like, I feel like, and I doubt this is true, but I feel like if I met Drew in public, he would be that same way.
Yeah.
Like, that's how much I believe it. That's how good he is at making me believe that he doesn't want me to like him. And I'm like, okay, man, I like that. So it's one of those things where he makes being a heel cool again. And I know that's tough. And I know some people are like, oh, cool heels are dumb and stupid, but like, he makes it so believable that sometimes when you watch like an action movie, the bad guy's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, he starts off pretty cool.
He reminds me of Killmonger in Black Panther. He's just a cool guy.
Yes.
And the
that's
thing is
great,
Drew,
dude.
I've always been super on Drew when he first came into the WWE, because he was like a clean shaven guy. I never really liked him. And then when he came back and he had the beard, and it's like I grew with him. I'm like, I like this guy as a heel. I love it.
And because he has an attitude and a swagger, and he's like the athlete that was cut from the big team. Like, for example, in baseball, like, you played for the Dodgers and then they traded you and you didn't like it, and then you ended up with the Cardinals or some other team, and then you wanted to go back to play for the Dodgers and the Yankees, and then you make this triumphant return, and then you've got a chip on your shoulder because now they're giving me a chance to be me. And I got to prove them wrong. And I don't care what anybody says.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I think the second time around, they allowed him to be Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They allowed him to, or Drew Galloway, or, they allowed him to be him. It wasn't like this is the guy you're going to be, and we're going to just make you, and we're going to make people like you. That's one thing about wrestling that I absolutely love, is that no matter what, the WWE, AEW, TNA, Ring of Honor, no matter what they will put in front of the fans, we ultimately get the decision if we like it or not. And our voice now more than ever actually matters, because they listen.
Yes.
They listen to the people. I mean, if you're watching WWE Unreal on Netflix, watch the R-Truth episode. The people decided that, man.
Yeah.
That was natural. There was no joking behind the scenes. It was 100% like a fan-driven thing to make that happen. And it's awesome to watch that, especially nowadays. everybody uses the internet to complain, and everybody uses the internet to yell at somebody or call something stupid. And like even yesterday, I retweeted something that I thought was hilarious. Some indie wrestling show where it was all ladies and they were like cosplaying old 90s WWE wrestlers, and John Cena, quote unquote, unretired. Well, the whole joke with John Cena, you can't see him, so nobody came out. It was invisible, blah, blah, blah. And it was silly wrestling, and it entertained me. And I posted it, and people are like, this is terrible. This isn't wrestling. I'm like, that's the beauty of wrestling, though. Anything can be wrestling, right? I mean, Brody,
Like, yeah,
I know
anything can be
you're a
wrestling.
purist, and you don't necessarily like all that comedy shtick and all that stuff, but you know that it's got a place in
It has a
wrestling.
I'll talk about it later in the episode, but I'll
Okay,
explain
cool.
it
I
where
love
the
it.
place
I love
is.
it. Okay, great. I love that. All right, so let's continue with the Rumble here. Drew retains. We all kind of saw that coming. We all kind of predicted the outcome of that match as well, and I think a lot of people did. Then let's talk about the next match. And okay, I want to call this AJ's retirement match, but I feel like personally, I'd be lying to you if I called it that. So all I'm going to say is it was AJ versus Gunther with his career on the line. And boy, oh boy, we got ourselves a match, didn't we?
We had a great match. The problem is that they had Gunther beat AJ in Germany a few weeks before. Why are we going to care about this rematch when Gunther just squashed AJ 2 weeks before? Like, we need something to
because now his career's on the line.
The career's on the line. So this was a very good match. AJ's very athletic. He took that backdrop so well, and Gunther's got great hands. The hands of Gunther are so powerful when he tosses him in that turnbuckle, and those chops are thundering, roaring.
The chops are something that I would never, ever want to be on the other end of one of those things.
I'll explain this to people. This is an example of this. People ask why Gunther is so great. The sleeper hold that Gunther puts on people matters. Everyone says, well, everybody uses a sleeper hold. Yes, that's true. When he uses a sleeper hold, people stand up out of their seats.
Yeah, they know.
It could end.
Yeah, they know.
Over. It's legitimately, this match could end. And then he does the thing where it's a bug tussle. I'm not just going to put the guy out quickly. He gives that baby face an opportunity. He puts you through the roller coaster emotion simply by him just putting on a sleeper hold.
You know what I've been noticing that Gunther's been doing lately is he'll put you in the sleeper hold while you guys are standing, and then the opponent drops to a knee. He goes down to one knee as well. But before they hit the mat, he pulls him back up, releases, gives him a chop. The guy falls, and then Gunther picks him up and then puts him in the sleeper and goes down. Those are the small details that I think puts him on that extra tier.
Yeah.
Because anybody could put him in the sleeper. He could have easily held him in that sleeper and put him to sleep. But instead, he's going to go, no, I'm not done yet. I'm going to pick you up. I'm going to give you one good slap to the chest, put you to the ground, pick your lifeless body up, and then put you to sleep with whatever little breath you have.
It's an example of giving that fans a little bit of hope and then just pulling it away from him. That's what a heel does, and he does it probably the best in the company. That's why he's the generational talent that he is.
So let's say that this is AJ's last match. Let's go ahead and believe the narrative here and go, yes, we will never see AJ Styles wrestle again.
Okay.
Are you happy with that being his final match?
Yeah. If we're just going on the quality of match, I do. Listen, AJ Styles, when I think of TNA wrestling, AJ Styles is the first name I think of. I think he's the only wrestler to ever win the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. He's won that 3 times, TNA World Heavyweight Championship 2 times.
Wow.
He's won every single belt in WWE. He's the first ever X Division champion, won that 6 times, won the WWE Championship 2 times, Intercontinental Champion 1 time, United States Champion 3 times, World Tag Team Champion twice. He's a Grand Slam champion, WWE and TNA. I mean, he's an absolute legend.
It's insane. That's an insane resume.
He's an insane resume, a phenomenal resume. I mean, it's a perfect word to describe him. He's excellent. And if this is the last time we ever see him wrestle in a ring again, I think it's the way that he would, in his own mind, he's like, I got to lose to a generational talent.
Yep.
I got to have a match I would have wanted to have. I can mentor a young guy that I believe is on the come up in a match. He'll listen. We put on an absolute clinic for what we want to do. And I think AJ would be satisfied with this retirement match. As Tony said, I think Tony needs to tell the story again because he ran into AJ back when he was working at a prior radio station back in 2010. He was here for TNA Lockdown. He actually ran into AJ, called him a class act. You want to tell us a little bit more about that, Tony?
I mean, he's just one of the nicest guys ever because, again, he was there with Ric Flair, and Ric Flair is being Ric Flair. And you know how that is, Ric Flair, everybody goes, oh, that's the character. No, that's him in real life.
Oh, yeah.
So he's on the show, and he's just being the show. And AJ Styles is just one of the nicest, down-to-earth, and to be honest with you, he never made me feel like I was talking to a professional wrestler. He made me feel like I was talking to somebody that I knew for the past 15 years of my life. And the fact that he did that, that early in his career, learning to do things the right way. And if you've ever sat down and watched any type of interview with AJ Styles, you can tell that the reason that he is so respected in the business is because that's not a facade. That's who he is. That's the guy that he is. And Brody, I don't know if you listened to or if you read anything that happened, but AJ was on Stephanie McMahon's podcast, and she asked him, what was the symbolism of taking off your gloves, putting them back on, and then getting in the ring and doing your thing? And he goes, listen, this is wrestling. Everybody has at least one coming out of retirement match. I didn't want to completely close the door because what if my son gets into professional wrestling and he wants to tag team? And I sit there and I say, this is my last match ever. And he goes, when I say that, I mean that. I thought that was cool because it also opens up the door storyline as well. That's him saying, hey, you may see me show up somewhere. You'll never know. Yeah. And I think that's fantastic.
That's fine.
Great storytelling.
That's fine.
Great storytelling. Okay, so now let's, we could start diving into the Rumble, or do you want to go and hit the break a little early and come back and talk?
We'll talk about when we get back.
When we get back from the break, we'll talk about the Rumble. And Ryan, I think you're really going to love this. I want to get inside the brain a little bit deeper and see how Brody would handle certain situations in the world of professional wrestling. Okay. Really dive deep here, and I'm really excited to do that. We'll do that right after the break. This is Wrestling on the Spectrum on the Lou Information Station.
The Lou Information Station, a whole new way to enjoy content created just for those of us in the St. Louis area. It's a whole new way to advertise and promote your business. Reach out and find out just how different we are. If you're tired of one-sided advertising offerings or your traditional media rep trying to shove digital marketing down your throat, visit luinfo.com and click on advertising. Or email partnerships@luinfo.com for more information.
Lunchtime just got a whole lot better at Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill. From mouth-watering wraps to loaded quesadillas to bold, flavor-packed sandwiches, Hot Shots has something fresh every single day, along with your favorite wings, burgers, and pizza that you know and love. And don't sleep on those Hot Shots tacos. Plus, if you gotta be in and out quick for lunch, Hot Shots has you covered every day starting at 11 a.m. Find your nearest Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill now at hotshotsnet.com. That's hotshotsnet.com.
Is your brand stuck on the sidelines? Tired of feeling like your marketing budget is just warming the bench? Well, then it's time to get in the game with Eyesight Media. We don't just put your brand near the action, we put you in the action. Imagine this, your company front and center, showcased in NCAA and pro stadiums and arenas nationwide. If you're ready to elevate your brand to MVP status, don't miss this shot. Visit eyesightmediagroup.com today to apply for an in-arena partnership. That's eyesightmediagroup.com.
Fast Track Auto Transport has been a trusted leader in vehicle shipping for over 25 years, providing reliable, affordable service across the U.S. Fast Track offers fast and safe transportation solutions for individuals, dealerships, fleets, and businesses of all sizes. The Fast Track team prides itself on honest communication, competitive pricing, and real-time tracking, which gives our customers peace of mind from pickup to delivery. Whether you're shipping a single car or managing a large fleet, Fast Track delivers a smooth, hassle-free experience every time. Come see why Fast Track Auto Transport has been St. Louis's go-to company for all your vehicle transport needs for over 25 years. The trusted way, the safe way, the Fast Track way. Visit ftautotrans.com or call 636-677-9004. That's ftautotrans.com or call 636-677-9004.
I'm Big Toe Media President Dave Green, and for the last few months, I've been telling you about what makes Home Bank different. Local people, local decisions, and real relationships. So let me take that a step further. When you walk into Home Bank, you're not walking into a system, you're walking into a conversation. This is a bank that understands St. Louis because they're part of it. The people making decisions live here, work here, and invest back into the same communities you do. That matters, especially when you need answers, flexibility, and a partner you can trust. Big banks can make promises. Home Bank builds relationships. If you're ready for a smarter, more personal banking experience, I'd encourage you to start that conversation today with Home Bank, the team behind our team. Visit myhomebank.bank or call 855-577-2001. Home Bank, member FDIC. More than a bank, they're your business partner.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
At Brown and Crouppen, we get that after an accident, money's tight. That's why we offer so much for free. First call, free. First consultation, free. Stuck at home or in the hospital, we'll come to you for free. So call Brown and Crouppen, where we don't get paid unless you do. And your first consultation is free.
It's still real to me, damn it. Now back to more of Wrestling on the Spectrum with Brody the Brain Herman, JC and Patrico on the Lou Information Station. Streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Welcome back to Wrestling on the Spectrum. My name is Tony Patrico, joined by Brody the Brain Herman and Flying Ryan Swingler. Get involved with Wrestling on the Spectrum. The YouTube chat is live and open. You can watch the show. You can also listen to us online. You can listen to us at louinfo.com. Wrestling on the Spectrum brought to you by Brown and Crouppen, 222-2222. Let's dive right back in to our chat about the men's Royal Rumble. Obviously, we recapped, all the other matches. You can always go back on the podcast and check that out if you are driving out and about listening to us on this really nice Saturday afternoon. It's nice to see the sun, no snow, all the snow is melting. Absolutely love it. But the thing that I really want to get into is your thoughts on the men's Royal Rumble, Brody.
Yep. Yeah. Roman Reigns won. He eliminated Gunther. Obafemi had a very nice showing with 5 eliminations.
Agreed.
They're elevating him, but the meat of the matter, you're right, Tony, is the veteran Roman Reigns winning the Royal Rumble. He's going to main event his 11th WrestleMania. And, Roman Reigns, listen, they went with a safe pick, a veteran pick. He also had 5 eliminations, leading alongside Obafemi. I thought it was a safe pick. I thought, listen, if they're going to have a match between CM Punk and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, this is probably the year to do it.
Yeah.
Dream match. Let's put it together. Clearly, as you saw in the Rumble, they have other plans for Drew, Cody, and Jacob. That's going to be a triple threat. And I think the best opponent for Punk is probably Roman Reigns, because I think, Gunther has won a world heavyweight title. He was in the main event last year. I think he's got other fish to fry. And I think with Breakker, he's younger than Jacob, and I think he's got his year. His year is not this year. Jacob's year is this year. Braun Breaker's year will be anher year.
I thought that was the weirdest thing of the entire Rumble.
I'm still mad about it, and I'm going to keep saying that. I'm so mad.
Listen, I get it for the story, okay?
Yeah.
I understand it, but, this is the Royal Rumble. Show off Braun Breaker, at least for a little bit, and then have something with the Masked Man come into the ring and do something with him. But we don't even get the opportunity to see him do anything. Bummer.
Never seen Braun Breaker get laid out like that either.
Yeah.
It just seems so extra.
Here's my question.
Who's under the mask?
Who is under the mask?
It's gotta be Seth.
I have a couple guesses.
Okay.
I have a couple guesses. Guess number 1 is Logan Paul.
That's a good guess. That's a
Okay.
good guess.
That's
Listen,
not a bad guess.
I think that's how you make this story even more interesting. That's how you get Braun out of the vision, and that's how you get Braun to the top of the heavyweight title picture or the WWE championship picture. That's how you get him his singles push. You don't need, I think he's at a spot now where he doesn't need Heyman. I think he's made it there.
Yeah.
I think he's made it there.
I'm
with
have
you.
him be a crash out, basically.
So this is how you get him out of there. The other guess I have is Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, and again, guys, there's one thing that we have to remember before you go and start zooming in and analyzing teeth and facial expressions. The guy that we saw at the Royal Rumble underneath the mask does not have to be that guy when they reveal him.
Correct.
It can be somebody completely different.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Like they've done this before in the past. Don't be surprised if like all of a sudden you're like, whoa, the other guy had blonde facial hair. This guy's got, it's okay, guys, but I think Logan Paul is where my guess is going to go. If I had to make a big, bold prediction.
Yeah, I think it's bold. I think it's Rollins, but it could be somebody we could even think about. Maybe somebody from Heyman's past or somebody from some interesting little tie-in or I think there could be something interesting there.
When do we get the reveal? Because I don't want this to be a long play out.
Probably closer to Chamber-ish, maybe in March, maybe after Chamber.
That's one of my least favorite things is when they do the long play of who the attack was.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, I'm going to contradict myself here. You either have to do a quick reveal or you have to play it out. Like, play it out long. Like, it's got to be the long game.
They probably will play it out longer than they did with Theory because
I
everybody
hope
kind of
so.
knew it was Theory.
Yeah.
And in this instance, there's a little more intrigue. That's why I think they went back to the well on it again. And
I like
listen, they had I knew something was in the water when they had Punk just beat Breaker clean in the middle of the ring at the Barclays Center. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe he's not being elevated to WrestleMania. I still had hope that he was going to win. And then all of a sudden, Punk is this weird thing with Balor. And another thing that doesn't make any sense, this is just odd. CM Punk and AJ Styles had a World Heavyweight Championship match on Raw a few weeks ago, and then Finn just came in and attacked them and it just ended in a DQ. And the fans were just there like, they were booing, obviously, because this is actually a match we wanted to see, and Balor ruined it. And then all of a sudden, Punk's talking about Balor. Balor's not even in the Rumble.
That's what I was going to say.
Roman
Isn't it weird that he wasn't even in it?
Yeah, it's just there's not even in it. And then he comes out there, and then Roman interrupts him like, why are you talking about Finn Balor? I'm going to challenge you WrestleMania. So wait, forget about everything that happened before and just forget about that Balor ruined the match with him and AJ. And now let's just focus on Punk and Roman at Mania.
Weird. My guess, I got two, but I think it's Adam Pearce for one. And then my other guess is a double agent that's already worn the mask. I'm going with Austin Theory. He's a double agent. And when Seth comes back, he's going to reunite with the Monday Night Messiah.
Could happen.
I don't hate that either.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it one bit.
That's what I'm going with.
Who do you think got, you already said Obafemi. Anybody else stand out for you in the Rumble that, really elevated themselves?
Javon Evans had that.
I agree.
Iron Man, baby.
Yeah, Javon Evans, I think, was absolutely great. We did see a return.
Yeah. We saw the debut of Powerhouse Hobbs.
Okay, we did say that they see, and again, this is why I hate the internet, because it didn't even feel cool. We all knew it was going to happen.
Cool is that they acknowledged his name was Powerhouse Hobbs,
Didn't
and then they
get
made
that.
it Royce Keys. Why acknowledge his name was Powerhouse Hobbs, and then wait, why did he change his name?
Well, I think, and this is what I read, and this is, of course, from the internet,
Okay.
wrestling community, so take it for what it is. But I looked at it as the WWE owns Royce Keys.
Yeah.
They don't own Powerhouse Hobbs.
Correct.
So this is them going, hey, yes, it's that guy. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
But now moving forward, every single thing he does, we own it, guys. We own it.
They just wanted to take a shot at AEW. I think when they did the bricks thing, it was like, oh yeah, this is your name. Tear that down. This is our guy now.
I agree. So,
Yeah.
okay, you're right. We did have a debut, but we had a return of the OG Americano.
Yeah, Chad Gable's back.
Ripped. Chad
Yeah.
Gable
And
looks
he's
like
a
he's in
goatee.
fantastic shape, man.
And he got
And
a
he has a
goatee.
goatee.
Yeah, had a little comedy there. No problem with that. I took a couple AAA guys involved, like I predicted, La Parka and
Too
Mr.
many.
Iguana.
There was two, and you said too many.
Too many.
I do think that, man, and I hate to say this, but I think I'm done with the Mr. Iguana experiment. I
didn't like
the first couple matches, I was like, oh man, this is incredible. He's doing all this stuff with this stuffed animal and and now I'm like, okay, that was over.
There's
Like, I'm done.
always a fine line in comedy and wrestling.
There is
a fine
listen,
line.
and again, I'm not gonna say like get rid of it, because I know somebody out there loves it. So if that's the case, I can give up 7 minutes of a 3-hour wrestling show so Mr. Iguana can come out there, do some cool things, and really make some people laugh and happy. I'm okay with that. I don't have to like it. but somebody else does. So let
I
him
feel
love
like
it.
I picked the wrong guy. I would have rather seen El Hijo del Vikingo instead of El La Parca in this match.
Yeah.
If you had to pick somebody, I would have rather seen Vikingo, but
You know what's funny though is
nostalgic.
anytime AAA is involved in anything that is WWE related now, no matter what it is, they use La Parca. I wonder if there's some stake in there for La Parca. Like it's in the some of the fine details that
sure
like no matter what, you have to feature the La Parca character, which by the way, before you go, thinking that La Parca is immortal, there have been multiple versions of La Parca. La Parca is like the character, and there have been multiple people who have played that character.
Yes.
People are like, wait a minute, I remember him wrestling in 1992. Different La Parca, guys. Different La Parca.
And it's not like I don't like them or anything. I'm just thinking from an aspect of there were other guys that I would rather see.
Yeah, of course.
I'd rather see Finn Balor actually get a chance to go to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So
okay, so Brody, I know you said it was the safe call to have Reigns win. Do you think it is the safe call for him to call out CM Punk? Are we going to get an exciting match?
It's going to be Drew, Jacob, and Cody. And why are you having Jacob interfere in the WWE Championship match if it's not going to be Jacob at WrestleMania? That doesn't make any sense to me. I think Jacob wins the Chamber. I think this is the guy they're going to push. And listen, they need it, guys. They need a top Samoan star. Roman Reigns is not getting any younger. The Rock is not there anymore. Bless the Usos, bless Solo. They're not top guys. Jacob's the top guy. You got to do something with him. Yeah, you got to do something with him.
I love it.
He's not getting any younger, and they're like, okay, we're going to have a big return with him. This is his year. And if it's not at WrestleMania, it will be at SummerSlam. There's a way out, because here's why. You have a triple threat match. You have an out. I think Cody takes the fall, and it's either going to be Drew or Jacob. You either crown Jacob at WrestleMania, or Drew beats Cody, and he never pins or submits Jacob, and then you have Jacob and Drew at SummerSlam.
I would watch every one of those matches you just said.
And I think fans are excited about it. I think there's a wrong perception. Well, why Jacob? I think there are a lot of fans that legitimately see Jacob Fatu as a main eventer, and they're excited about this.
I'm at least willing to give him a chance to show me, to prove to me that he could be a main eventer.
Yeah.
At least give him that shot. Now's the time to do it. Never been hotter. So now is the time to do it. I completely agree with you.
Yeah, he's not under 30. He's 33. He's ready. Braun's under 30. He's still got time. It's Jacob's time now. It's his year, whether that's at WrestleMania or SummerSlam.
I completely agree with you, and I think that's a fantastic take. And I know, really, let's just go ahead and look at this as, let's what is happening on our road to WrestleMania right now. So you have Roman Reigns set to challenge CM Punk for the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania. We have gotten some men's elimination chamber qualifier matches there. Do you know who has won and who is in?
Orton is qualified for the chamber, so it'll be their elimination chamber in Chicago. That's a key. That's the only interesting thing about it, is if you're going to have the chamber in Chicago, why not be the place where the winner faces CM Punk? That's interesting.
Yeah.
But we have Tiffany Stratton's going to qualify for the chamber, and Randy Orton's qualifying for the chamber. So more chamber qualifying matches coming down the pike. However, I think this match will be centered on Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu.
I agree with you there. Brody, I think we kind of covered things where we stand right now as far as pro wrestling. And I've been so excited about this, man, because I love the fact that historically you are so well versed in professional wrestling. So you have seen a lot, you have studied a lot, you have learned a lot about professional wrestling and the different incarnations of professional wrestling as they've gone from territories to the WWE monster to the Monday Night Wars, back and forth and back and forth. So what I wanted to give the people that are out there listening right now, I wanted to give them the opportunity to get inside the brain a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
So I have some questions for you, and I'm just curious to see how you would answer these.
Okay.
So first one here, and this kind of leads to something we were talking about earlier. When for you is wrestling too much entertainment, and when does it become like ridiculous to you?
Okay, this is going to be a long-winded answer. The short answer is Santino Marella, because that's when it becomes too much entertainment. Some of the most embarrassing moments of my life are having to watch him on my television screen. He's too much.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
I legitimately, no, I don't like Santino at all. I don't like him. I don't like him one bit. No, I don't like
Ryan's
him.
over here doing the Cobra
conventions either. Cobra was the only thing that maybe I even liked about it. He killed Vladimir Kozlov's career with the Tea Party. That killed him. It did. I'm sorry. It did. He killed careers. He has the wrong goals in wrestling.
We have the answer, everybody. The answer is Santino Marella, okay?
Yeah. His intention was to make guys break character. He wasn't interested in any aspect of wrestling besides trying to make the wrestlers in the ring break character.
But
he doesn't respect veterans.
But don't you think the man is still involved in a big way
I'm happy
in the
for him.
professional wrestling world?
I'm happy
So
for
that
him.
has to say something.
I'm happy
People
for
do
him.
like him.
They like him. He's a lot. I'm sure they like him in the back somewhat. I'm sure they do. He's just no. I'm sorry. That's fine.
So that's where the line is for you.
Yeah, that's the line.
Any other instances that you remember watching and going like, oh my, this is ridiculous? Like, I know you were too young to be watching this live, but like at one point, you do know that there was a storyline where Mark Henry was in a relationship with Mae Young. And then they gave birth to a hand, so like
that. I mean,
that even to me, I'm like, come on.
We can have a whole episode on Vince Russo-isms. I mean, there are so many that I can point to.
I would love that.
It's just madness. And I'm not going to just dive into Vince Russo stuff because we can do that another time. But, it's just some of the things. I mean, this year, one of the most embarrassing things was the Young Bucks with the gummy bears. And I had to rethink everything in my life. I told you right after that, Brian, I'm like, I need to rethink everything in my life.
But
that
don't you think
so bad.
Don't you think that those dudes are just trolling?
At that
point, I think those guys, because they know they're wrestling fans first. I agree with you, but I think those dudes are first and foremost wrestling fans. And I think that they do all that they do to just troll all of us.
I don't. Here's where it draws the. I don't like wrestlers who just try to entertain other wrestlers in the ring. I want them to entertain the fans.
Yes, you don't like the inside joke.
I don't need it. It's not necessary.
Yeah.
It's not. Here's what the purpose of comedy wrestling is, because everybody debates funny doesn't draw money, and it doesn't. Here's where comedy is great in wrestling. When the babyface humiliates the heel, it's hysterically funny. And when they don't try to be funny, but it's the ultimate humiliation, it's great.
Yep. And
everybody laughs. It's great.
And you know what else it is? Man, when you watch an action movie, when you watch a thriller movie, there are lulls and there are breaks.
Sure.
So you can catch your breath and you can take things in. If I had just 5-star match after 5-star match after 5-star promo after 5-star backstage segment, and it was just bang, 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 it's overwhelming. We talk about wrestling overload on a weekly basis. Imagine all of that packed into one show. You can do one of those, man. But if it was week after week, you would be exhausted after watching a television show.
You can't terrorize everybody every week and send everybody to the hospital. You need to humiliate. Heels can do comedy on babyfaces as long as it doesn't expose their weaknesses, the babyface. If the babyface's weaknesses aren't exposed, heels can do it. What does a manager do? Well, a manager does wisecracks. They try to tear down the babyface. They're not comedians. Managers are not comedians. What are managers? Heel managers. They're pricks and they're smart Alex.
Yep.
They're the kid in school that makes the slight comment to you that you take personally. And you're, as the fans, are supposed to take it personally. Well, God, this guy's overweight. That manager's like the smart aleck kid in school that makes the slight comment, and it's supposed to cut deep. Ooh, that cut deep.
Yeah.
The master of it are two guys, Jim Cornette and Paul Heyman. And then when the babyface puts Jim Cornette's face in the cake, it's hysterical. Everybody laughs because it's hilarious. And you're like, my God, it's his comeuppance. If you use comedy as a tool and context to advance a storyline, then you can draw money with the main event angle, and it's in context. When it's just inside jokes and it's just characters trying to be funny for the sake of funniest, doesn't really work. But, there is a place for comedy in wrestling. It is a tool in the toolbox for wrestlers if they don't go to the well too much.
And I think that a perfect example of this as well is when you look at the segment that happened between R-Truth and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Like that worked, because it did advance the storyline. The whole R-Truth thinks that John Cena is his childhood hero and like all this stuff, So it's like they really do, have an opportunity to use comedy to further a storyline without doing too much.
Establish Brock's dominance.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I got a comment that I have to read. Somebody said, "Why do you hate Don Callis?"
I hate Don Callis?
We don't hate Don Callis at all.
I don't hate Don Callis. I wish they utilized him as a manager more in AEW. I wish he was more better utilized and actually did managerial things instead of just sitting there and commentating. He doesn't interfere at all in the matches and doesn't do anything at all. His family's too big. And I wish he did more. I wish he talked more. I wish he was utilized in AEW more as an actual manager, and he's not, unfortunately.
So Brody, you have said, Santino is where you draw the line.
Yeah.
But what I'm interested in is has there ever been a moment that has almost made you completely check out of wrestling? Like, has there been a moment that's happened where you're like,
I think
I'm
when
out?
Santino Marella came out of Santino Marella at WrestleMania, I'm just sitting there like, what are we doing? Guys, come on. This stinks.
Yeah.
And everyone in the room, this is terrible. And Santino's at it. He must be loved in the back by some. I get it. I've never liked his attitude. I've seen him at fan conventions before. I don't like his attitude. I've never liked his attitude. And just the way that he sees wrestling is not what other people, or at least what the fans see wrestling as. He just sees it as a play field for him to do what he wants to do. And I think he, Mick Foley and Santino Marella are the complete polar opposites.
Okay,
Mick
I can
Foley
see
not.
how you make that comparison. I could see that. So hopefully the answer is not Santino Marella, because we're beating the absolute hell out of this guy.
That's fine.
But has there ever been a moment in wrestling that has made you legit angry?
That legitimately has made me angry.
Like I know a lot of people, if I asked them this question, their answer would be Undertaker's streak. Like that made some people
heel
legit.
Winning a match, or like an actual finish that made me upset. Like, why did they do this?
Either or. I think both answers would be absolutely great.
This is a good one. That finish I just didn't like as I was watching it live.
I'll be honest with you. My answer, while you think about that, my answer will be the Undertaker streak.
Yeah,
I mean,
too.
because again, I'm not even saying, Ryan, that they should have kept the streak going. I'm not even saying that. I think is that it was the wrong time. Okay. I think and people are going to be mad at me, but I think it probably should have happened 2 years earlier.
Yeah.
Because you can't put the Undertaker in the ring with Brock Lesnar and have me sit there and go, the Undertaker's got a shot. No way, man. Like, I just don't. I don't think the Undertaker had a shot when he was in his prime with Brock Lesnar there. So when you do that, I go, man, is this the day that it's going to end? There's no way they're going to do it today. And then they did it. And I remember going, man, I was just so bummed that that's actually what happened. Okay, give it to me.
Coming up in my head. I did not like when Triple H buried Sting at WrestleMania.
Okay.
That was a complete burial. I have never seen anything like that. That was brutal to watch. It wasn't even like competitive. He just flat out buried Sting that whole match. It was ridiculous. He took him out of the ring. He kept doing the sledgehammer spot, hit the pedigree. Wasn't even that long of a match, and it shouldn't have been. But his
was that the WrestleMania match where DX came back?
Yeah,
and then
DX
and why the hell did NWO come out to help Sting? Like, we're just supposed to forget.
And it wasn't successful. And Triple H just buried him. It was so bad.
It's funny. It's funny. DX comes down and you're like, oh man, some of those guys look still pretty good. And then NWO came out and you're like,
Sting
oh my god,
it's I know the money must have been great, but like, okay, you're gonna go out there. And Triple H made the comment like, well, because I know, and Triple H hated the fact that his first WrestleMania, Ultimate Warrior buried him, and Ultimate Warrior and Sting started off as tag team partners, and as revenge, Triple H took it out and decided to bury Sting on his first WrestleMania in WWE. And that was his first match.
That's crazy.
That wasn't fair.
That's crazy.
If you want to talk about like Triple H's low point as a performer, that was it.
That
wasn't fair.
Yeah. Listen. I think that's a hot take, and I think that's a right take as well.
I like that.
Hey, we are running out of time, but I definitely want to get to this. And Ryan, I want you to put this up on our socials, because what I want you to do is I want other people to go to our socials, and I want them to participate in this activity as well. Okay. So here's the question: you are to create your faction. This is Brody's faction. Okay. I'm going to give you each step of the way of this faction, and I want you to insert the wrestler.
Okay.
First, you need your anchor. So, for example, if we're looking at the Vision, it's Seth Rollins, or was Seth Rollins, okay?
If I had to pick an anchor in all-time history, like if I were to have to pick an anchor, if I would want in my faction.
This is, everybody is available. Everybody's alive.
On the roster in history.
Dude, everybody is alive.
Okay.
Everybody is available.
Would be my anchor. There's my first.
That's his first. Ric Flair. Who's the tag team that's part of this faction?
Oh, gosh. Well, it would be easy for me to say Tully and Arn. It'd be the Horsemen because it's my favorite, but I would love the Midnight Express. I just wanted that was going to happen. That was so close to happening. I wanted to be the Midnight Express.
Okay, who would be your workhorse? And by workhorse, I'm talking like if you look at DX, it's X-Pac.
I'd go with Arn. I love Arn. I wanted that to happen so bad in '89. Go with Arn.
So far, we are at an extended 4 horsemen. Right now, we're at a 6 horsemen,
Yeah,
right?
right now, yeah, pretty much. But that's what I wanted to see. I'll explain on another episode, but it's quite interesting.
Okay. Who is the female superstar that joins this faction?
Ooh, I would have loved it. Sherry Martel would probably be the one.
I think
There's
that's cool.
there.
I think that's great. And you are not the manager. You're just the money man here. You're just the guy behind the scenes. Who is the manager that is running this faction? Now, remember, before you jump, all time, everybody is available, nobody off the table.
I'd go with Jim Cornette because it's different because they did it with JJ already. So I'd go with Cornette.
Love
I
it.
like Cornette better.
Love it.
And then what I would have loved is for the Dangerous Alliance to feud with that group in '89. That would have been awesome.
And Brody, just to remind the people that are just tuning in or just listening right now, what year were you born?
2002.
There it is, baby. 2002. Here's what I want to do. We're going to post that up on our socials, and I want you guys to reply back with how would you build your faction? I'm very interested to see. If we get enough responses, we'll talk about it next week, Brody, and I want you to pick your favorite faction to go up against your faction that you just built here today. How's that sound?
Yep.
Absolutely fantastic. Well, thank you guys very much for joining us today. Brody, again, give people the rundown very quickly here. When can they hear Brody here on the Lou Information Station?
They can hear me all the time. I appear on almost every show, but
he's not wrong.
On this show and, on the Gateway Sports Venue High School Sports Show every single Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time.
And Ryan, I know you have your hands on a whole lot here on the station, all the way from 6 a.m. all the way to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday. You also have a bunch going on the weekends here. Don't forget about the Sounds of STL every Friday at 5 p.m. Brody, I meant to talk to you about this earlier, but I'm getting you on the show. We need to talk music, man.
I will.
I want to get inside the brains. I want to get inside the brains music brain.
All right.
Because I think we can have a whole lot of fun with that. So we'll do that. Ryan, you're coming on too, bud. We're a big family, baby.
I realize, I got an artist too.
We're a big family, baby. Let's do this.
Yeah.
We're going to all collaborate. Thank you guys for listening to Wrestling on the Spectrum. For Flying Ryan Swingler, for Brody the Brain Herman, I'm Tony Patrico. This was Wrestling on the Spectrum.